This stream contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. Today, 4 teams have one last shot at breaking through to the next phase of this competition. It's the final day of the group stage, and truly, anything can happen. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 8 of VALORANT Champions, coming to you live from the Shrine Expo Hall in downtown LA. I'm Golden Boy, and here on the desk today, we have Bala, and joining us for the first time, it's Vanity in the house. Give it up for Vanity, guys, if you guys don't mind. There you go. A little early, wake up the crowd a bit. How you feeling, buddy?
I mean, good. I'm excited to be back. This will be a good day of games.
Oh yeah, it most definitely will be, because there's a lot of drama, but don't worry, we'll get to the drama in a little bit. Let's go ahead though and take a look at our champs bracket and see where we are right now for groups, as we are here at the final day of elimination matches, the final day of groups, and the matches that we have lined up for us are going to be awesome. We're kicking things off with EDG taking on Giants. Bala, that matchup is going to be awesome, but guess what? It gets even better, because we have BLG taking on NRG as well. It's going to be absurd.
Yeah, 2 rematches, and both of the initial matches were so good. For a day to end for a group stage and go into playoffs, we couldn't ask for 2 better matches, 2 better rematches, because this is going to be really, really awesome.
Oh yeah, the drama is going to be high octane. It's going to be the best. People are going to be talking crap. It's going to be an excellent Vanity. I know you're all about this.
I'm super excited to watch the BLG energy game, because I'm hoping to get some energy from the energy side. Because BLG was the only one giving it last game, so hopefully that'll be a good one.
That's what we're hoping for, right? But if you are, of course, a Chinese VALORANT fan, which we actually have quite a bit in the building, and millions watching at home as well, you're probably rooting for 2 teams here today. And I think it's time that everyone learned some Mandarin here and actually started to appreciate what we're going to get, because both EDG and Billy, they have a ton of support online, but most importantly here, Bala, they have a ton of support in the venue, which I did not necessarily expect.
No.
And I think it's well-deserved, because these teams are coming out hot.
Yeah, honestly, EDG for me has had the crowd favorite buff out of any of the teams, not even the NA teams here in the venue. It's been really fun to see, and I think it kind of speaks to what's going on right now for these Chinese teams. A lot of pressure. The game just got released there, which means much more eyes on the players up on stage. It's the first time since that has happened that we have an event, and that makes it all the more exciting, because I was watching them and following closely their qualifiers to get to this point, and it was really much more pressure for all the different teams. And we have 3 teams here. FPX already went home, but these 2 teams today, I think, could definitely have a chance at making it into playoffs and making a deep run.
Oh, yeah. And then here, of course, is the fan reaction online in Billy, which is the, in case you guys don't know, it's a social media platform in China. So a few of these things being translated here, whether it's EDG or BLG, you have to face EG later and beat them. You played elegantly, ignore the trolls, keep it up. It's normal to lose to PRX. After all, they're steady 2nd seed. Go get it for the future matches. Vanity, though, I got to bring you in on this, man, because that first one is the one that stands out to me the most. EG deciding they just want to embrace the villain arc here at this event, bro.
I mean, I like it. I think they're evil geniuses. Demon 1, he's trying to play his persona. I like how it's not just targeted at one team. He does it to everyone. He plays the game. He has fun. I think that's what we're missing in esports, and I think he does a really good job at filling that role.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the Chinese fans feel like it's targeted, though. Because Boostio's going at them, Demon 1's going at them. They're sitting steady in playoffs, but these other 2 teams still need to make it through. I think for me, when I'm looking at this event for the Chinese fans, I'm thinking back to Reykjavik 2021, the first event that we had as an international LAN. Vanity, you played back then. That to me is the same sort of status that a lot of these fans are getting introduced for as VALORANT here today.
Yeah. What is it about these Chinese teams, Vanity, in your opinion, being a professional player, what are you seeing from these teams that are making them so special right now?
I think that the level of growth they've shown since their first event was Champs 2022, I believe. It's kind of similar to the Brazilian scene in the beginning of the game in 2021 Reykjavik. They weren't super good, but they got good really fast, and it wouldn't surprise me to see China take the same trajectory. I'm expecting it. I don't know who's going to win today, but I think in the future they're definitely going to have a really good scene.
And that's a bold prediction because, you know, Brazil won Champions 2022 the year after you were talking about. So.
You know, man, stranger things have indeed happened. But ahead of Chanso, actually, Insu sat down with BLG's Whzy for a one-on-one interview. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at that real fast.
I'm now joined by Whzy from BLG Gaming. Hi, Whzy. Welcome to Champions. Now, you've been playing for a really long time, and this is the first time you managed to qualify for an international tournament. So I wanted to ask you, what were your emotions and feelings when you found out that you are going to be here? 你在这个游戏上打了很久了，但是你从来没有来到这么大的一个世界大舞台，所以你知道你们会来的时候，你有什么感觉？那个时候你们刚刚赢的时候。
其实回顾我们本次拿了这次全球冠军赛的资格的时候，还是属于比较顺利的吧。然后就当时心情可能在赢下比赛的那一刻是非常激动的，然后很快就冷静下来了，因为后面还有很多比赛需要我们去准备。
He said when they first qualified, it was obviously a big deal for them, so they felt a little bit emotional about being able to make it here, but also they didn't forget that there were also other games that they had to play after that and also prepare for those as well. Now, you've never played against international teams before and players, so I wanted to ask you, is there any player in particular or team that you really want to face? 你们从来没有跟外国的队比赛过，所以这一次有没有一个选手啊，或者是一个队你非常想跟他们比赛的？
就因为这次全球冠军赛，然后就是聚焦了全世界就是最强的一些队伍嘛，然后可能以前我们只在那种直播上面或者是赛事回放上面看到过他们，然后这次然后很荣幸有机会能来这里跟他们一起交手，然后正好我们这个组里面也分到了本次的上一届的世界冠军 Fnatic 嘛，然后也是很期待跟他们交手，能从他们的对局中就是学到更多东西，然后提升自己吧。
He said that in the past they've only ever had an opportunity to watch some of these teams that are competing here on stream, and obviously this is a tournament with all of the best teams in the world coming here, and because Fnatic are actually in their group, he feels that they're going to be able to learn a lot from a team as strong as Fnatic and also improve themselves as well. And also speaking of that, Whzy, I also wanted to ask you because we've never seen you. We've watched you in China, but we've never seen you on this stage. Everybody's very excited to see what you can bring. So what are your own expectations? What would you like to show everybody what you can do? 我们知道你是谁，我们在中国看到你们，但是我们从来没有在世界舞台上看你们打。所以你觉得你想跟大家做什么一个表演？你是自己想走到好远？
就其实这次的分组，然后其实大家都不怎么看好我们吧，然后我们就希望能做到那种就比较戏剧性的那种黑马吧，因为那种强队碾压也是大家都就大家的意料之中吧，然后我们就希望能做到一些大家意料之外的事情，就在大家不被看到的情况下，也许我们能就打出一点就是大家意料之外的东西吧，这是我们想要的。
He said that a lot of people underestimate us, in this tournament, but we want to surprise people. We see ourselves maybe as the dark horse, and we want to show people things that they don't expect, that they might not think that we can do, which I think is a brilliant answer. Thank you so much. Whzy, before we finish this, is there anything that you would like to say to your fans, maybe in English?
We'll try our best, in LA, to make people remember us, to make our fighting.
Yes, fighting. We will remember you for sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me, and best of luck in your games. Fighting.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say one thing, for a team that wants to be remembered, they certainly accomplished that goal in this tournament, Paula.
I mean, winning their first game against NRG is just crazy. And I think a region like China, that's not what you expect for a team who's stepping on the international stage for the very first time. And we've had a lot of first opportunities for these Chinese teams to do that.
Yeah. I mean, they're the only team that's never played an international event prior to this, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that's impressive. Taking down a team like NRG, they have to do it again to make it out of the groups, but they got a chance.
When you consider the timeline as well for them, it really is impressive, like for the Chinese region, because EDG was coming to these events and they weren't able to get a map. And that was the narrative. When is China going to be able to get a map?
Yep.
Not only are they getting maps, I mean, we're talking about the possibility of EDG contending for a title at this event.
That changed real quick.
Yeah, that narrative really flipped on its head.
Once people got shot by Kong Kong's out, now that changed real quick.
Yeah, right? So I wouldn't be shocked if Billy's sitting in a similar position down the line as people are just getting more and more excited for this team. It's an exciting time in Valorant for sure. And we want to hear what you guys have to say as well. Use those hashtags. Get out there. It's Valorant Champions. Hashtag VCT. So we can go ahead and feature your stuff on the broadcast. And while you have your phone out, why don't you go ahead and scan that QR code so that you can take part in our MasterCard fan poll today. And here is the question. Will China make it out of the top 8? We'll have the results later in the show. Let's see what the fans think in the house. You think China's going to make it out of the top 8, Shrine? They think so?
I saw one guy like this.
I'm with them.
You're with them?
I'm with them too, man. Absolutely.
You saw one guy say no?
Yeah, he was like this. He was like,
Who was the person saying no? Is there who's saying no for China? Oh, man. Get called out, fam. In any case, though, folks, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about EDG versus Giants, a matchup you don't want to miss. And we'll see you on the other side.
就是我们这次比赛主要目的就是打好自己的东西嘛，就是我们根本不 care 对面到底要出什么招，我们打好我们的，在我们眼里他们就是 trash。
I would say the main goal for us at this tournament is to play our own game. To be honest, we don't really care what strategies they're going to pull off. In our eyes, they're basically just trash.
Oh, wow, okay.
I mean, we feel good. Maybe this trash team is going to win against ADG. Who knows? So let's see. They have the pressure.
We're going to see what's going to happen. It's going to be exciting for sure. Thank you so much, Vitinho. Congratulations once again.
I tell you, no love lost really across the stage here, and you know what? That's the way I like it. I like some bitter, trash talk back and forth, right? And Kong's definitely feeling it. And granted, those were all words that were said by, some of the players that are on that stage as well. So he's just using it against them. It's a good narrative.
And the funny thing is, like, Giants, I've been listening to a lot of what they've been saying about EDG in general, and I feel like they're underrating them like a lot, and that might have contributed to that first series loss against them.
Yeah, very well, because, I think when you run it, and let's just go ahead and talk about this here, because this rematch is actually going to be pretty wild here. Vanity, I want to bring you in on this specifically, because what is it about this game and like the team that is going into the rematch that the loser typically has that advantage, if you will, or statistically speaking, the loser has been a bit more favored in the past in these rematch games?
I would say the biggest thing, why the losing team tends to win the rematches more often, is you kind of know why you lose a lot of the time. I think, and then it's pretty easy to adjust, and there's not a lot of time for the team that wins to adjust their game plan, right? Yeah. It's a lot easier to adjust when you lose because you kind of know what goes wrong. Especially especially given the short downtime between matches. So I think that's typically why the loser is favored in the rematches, but I'm with EDG today.
It's like 60% for the losing team to rematch. And
yeah.
to me, specifically this matchup, I have a different thought about like the strategy and how you lose, you learn, like that sort of thing. For me, when EDG plays games, they just gain confidence. Whether they lose or win, they go into the next game with more confidence. And we've seen rematches from them before. In Tokyo, they actually took on T1 after losing, and they really did so good in that one. And you could see the confidence all of a sudden be within them. And I think that's not going to be disappearing just because they already played Giants before. So I would give the edge more to EDG here, despite the stats.
Yeah, and I think that if that is, you know, the way that the chips are going to fall, that puts a lot of pressure on Giants here, right? Because Giants now, having been the ones who have lost that game, but it feels like this squad is starting to find themselves a little bit here, Vanity, which is quite fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I think Giants, they were talking in like the hype videos in the beginning of the event, like day one. I remember I saw Rhyme like saying some stuff about EDG. So I feel like it's like Concon just giving it back, you know, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, it's perfectly fair, perfectly fair. You know, hey, if you can't dish it out, then you know what? Don't expect to take it back. What is that the phrase? If you can't dish it out, don't take. I don't know. Whatever.
I think there's expletives mixed in there.
There's a lot of phrasings. In any case, so thankfully we'll go away from this segment and we'll go to Doug, who's actually standing by with EDG's coach after for a quick word. Doug.
Coach, after, very quick question for you. Come over on this side for me. The last time you guys played, it was a very close affair. What did they do so well last time that you have to watch out for in this match?
那上次跟对手相遇的时候，其实是一场非常接近的比赛嘛。那今天的话，你会觉得说上次他们哪一些部分做得特别好，今天需要格外的注意呢？
我觉得他们的对我们的了解其实挺深的，所以他们把整个进攻节奏放得很慢。然后我们今天其实要做的就是谨慎跟耐心一点，我觉得就可以完克他们。
I feel like they had a really good research on how we play, so I felt like they definitely slowed their pace in their last matchup. So as long as we play careful and focused and collective today, I think it will win.
Best of luck to you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And as we get ready for this matchup, you can see the coaches starting to get prepared. It's going to be a high-pressured matchup here, but it's also going to be high pressure for a lot of the star players that are on each side for Giants and EDG. And you know exactly where we're going to be going here. You got Vitinho and Kong Kong. They're going to be facing off here today. And Bala, this is a matchup that we're so excited to watch because both players have really just been special this whole event.
I mean, they've had their welcome to the international stage moments so many times at this point. I think Vitinho, this event, really people start to understand that this guy is a Spanish superstar. The 1v4 that he had in Heaven on Split against EDG is something that honestly is probably the clip of the tournament for me at this point. And I think they have different styles. So you're going to have to see Vitinho's very reactive, really quick, whereas Kong Kong's taking the aggression to you and making sure that you're uncomfortable in all the spaces you own.
Yeah. I'm with you that Vitinho definitely had the best clip of the tournament so far, the 4K in Split Heaven. I don't know how you do that. It's insane. I think he's really leveled up. Like, the longer he gets to play, I think that throughout his entire Valorant career, he's continuously just gotten better and better, and I think it's something I'm looking forward to seeing today. I think you're kind of right, though, about Kong Kong being more so, like, aggressive, and Vitinho's really just, like, waiting for you to make a mistake, and he's going to punish you on it.
Yeah, and that is a interesting kind of way that both of these players are going to approach the game because it feeds right into Vitinho, but yet you would think that Kong Kong wouldn't make these mistakes, right? Because he has been so good so far in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't necessarily been showing the same moments as he was in Tokyo, I have to say. But he's still, to me, I mean, still watching him when he does hit the clips, he's still the best opera in the world. I mean, I've been saying that since Tokyo, since they beat Navi, and I don't think anybody else is really contending with that. So, yeah, I mean, there's the potential for him to absolutely go crazy. And I don't think it matters what Vitinho's going to be doing on the other side. I think it's a matchup that we're watching, but it's not necessarily affecting each other.
Oh, for sure. And I think that actually feeds right into this next one, which is really just about the fact that EDG, they're so clutch. And this was what we were hoping to see from EDG in Tokyo, and now we're getting it here at Champs. We're seeing a team that is really starting to show Vanity the sum of all of their parts. Every single player on this team is scary. So yeah, it doesn't matter if Vitinho gets an opening kill or two when you have a team that really can't just back you up at any point in time.
I mean, you have nobody just going absolutely insane the last series against Giants. I think I looked at the stats the other day. He got 4 4Ks in the last like 8 rounds of Split. Jeez. It's like, what do you do when a player's doing that? And he had a slow game against PRX, but I don't expect that to happen again.
Yeah, it's not the same sort of team that you're playing against. But nobody definitely, in my mind, in some of these close games, has been the guy who's constantly like finding extra value that you wouldn't expect when, you know, when you look at the stat page, he's kind of there at the bottom for EDG. And it doesn't really matter because he's consistently finding like impactful moments in the game.
Yeah, and if they continue to do that, it would be really scary.
I think one of the reasons why we saw that stat where they constantly have close games is because they have so many players who can make big plays like that, and they're not necessarily as strategic focused, as disciplined focused as some of these other guys. It's more, when you need the moments, they come for
very
EDG.
True. Very true, very true. Well, let's go ahead, though, and pivot over to the other side and get some quick words from the IGL of Giants. It's Rhyme standing by with Doug.
Ryan, very quickly, before you go in, man, you guys have had a chance to look over the film. What would you say was the biggest thing that went wrong in your previous matchup against EDG?
We didn't convert the rounds that we had to convert, and for today I think that will be the focus, just convert the rounds we have to win, and other than that I think that should be enough.
Congratulations, best of luck to you today.
All right, well, they're saying that they didn't convert the rounds that they needed to convert. But, you know, I mean, Vandy, I felt like it's more than that, especially when we talk about EDG, because this team really does force you to make those mistakes as we had just went over.
And I think the biggest thing the Giants like fumbled on in their first game against them, like on Ascent, they were playing like Cloud solo B on Ascent without an Odin. They never played anybody else with him. They would leave this guy to like just like out to dry every round, and EDG took a huge advantage of that. So I hope Giants has a better game plan.
Talking about Odins, man, this guy buys a judge every round.
Yeah, of course. You got to use some wins, bro. It doesn't matter if it's cringe, it works.
Whzy proved it, man. You know, come on. But you know, there were obviously more talking points out of that. But I know you do have a telestrator you wanted to run through, Bala.
Yeah, it was good to hear from Ryan because in my mind, so far in this event, he's really turned up, and I think he's become super underrated. So I have simple points here for him, but which makes him kind of impactful. As an IGL, a lot of the times you kind of don't look at these players and think, okay, they're doing the little things. And I think Rhyme is probably the guy who's on top of everything for his team as fast as possible. So I want to zoom into the screen right here. This team right here, Crew, just broke the alarm bot inside of B, and that's instantly the cue. While Fitinho was on this line holding the out for Rhyme, he's mound there. He opens the door, gets a free kill. It's super, super fast, these timings, and I think they're what makes Rhyme, to me, one of the guys who's on top of all the protocols. So I'm going to speed up way deep into the rest of the round, and again, things that other players are doing, some of the top players, where you see the awareness come through for Rhyme. As Melza throws down his smoke, instantly, what does Rhyme do? Just spams it. Knows that there's going to be a player walking through, and then there's a follow-up here where he's just flashing for his team, basic things, but he's the guy where it's the linchpin of the team for him. It's the player that's making the most impact for the rest of the team, and oftentimes when he's playing Astro, when he's playing some of these other roles, he's really getting all the utility that is making Cloud, Hoodie look like real geniuses in the game, but I think a lot of that is coming from Rhyme and his ability to match all the timings really well.
Yeah.
I definitely think Rhyme's improved a lot. I don't think he was this good at the beginning of the year. I think he's definitely showing a lot of growth. I think he's like learning the role of being an enabler a lot, and I think it's something that a lot of IGL should lean into. Like look at Boaster, for example. Like you make your teammates better, it makes your job easier, right?
Yep.
I think that's something that Rhyme is finally leaning into, and I think it's helping them out a lot.
Well, I'm actually really glad you mentioned that because a while ago, actually, we do have a quote from Rhyme talking literally about just that he wants to be the best IGL. And, you know, he knows players like Angel will retire in a year or two, which is funny because Angel is playing amazing this event. Boaster as well, another great IGL, but whenever they start to phase out of the game, it's my time to shine. But Rhyme, my friend, I don't think you have to wait that long because I think now's your time to shine. I really do feel like this Giant squad, they came into this event a tad underrated, and I genuinely feel like this is a scary team, and a lot of people just aren't really giving them that, you know, time of day.
Yeah, and I think when he answered that way to the question was, what do you want to be remembered for? And he said, I want to be the best IGL, and he's referring to the rest of these guys. And yeah, he might not have to wait for that long, but he has to continue to show it in the server. And it's been an inconsistent year for Giants in my mind. And they had some tools that kind of they struggled to adapt to. And this is one of the teams that, you know, started trying to play some of the other metas, but they really didn't have the chance to really get all the way. And I put that kind of responsibility on Rhyme's shoulders. So he's going to have to continue to show it on the server. He's going to have to play against some of those guys like Boaster, like Finesse potentially, like some of the other real genius IGL, Sadak up there, and then on the other side, Haodong on the server for him, right?
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing he needs to be able to defeat these guys for him to start getting that notoriety, I think.
Yeah, and we talk talk about this all the time, right? Like, you know, in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. This is plain and simple. You can't expect to win a tournament, you know, just by skirting by, right? So I think, you know, for players like Rhyme, he's definitely going to need to step up, and I think he's ready and prepared for the challenge ahead. But speaking of challenges, you guys want to have some fun?
Oh, no.
You guys want to have some fun?
No.
Yeah?
You're going to do one of these cringe challenge things, aren't you?
I love cringe challenges. It's the best thing. So before we get into our first match, our analysts are going to break down some Giants and EDG clips. But there's a twist. You have to make sure that you use 3 very specific words as you fit into your analysis. So Bala, you're going to be going up first here, and the words that you can use are cap, script, and contraire tense.
Bro, you don't even know. You don't even know
Alex,
what this is.
pronounce it for me so I remember it in my ear.
Contranatant.
It's contranating.
Contranating. Okay, I know what that means.
You know what that word is?
Yeah, 100%.
You suck.
And so is cap. Cap is like a hat, or is it like that's cap? Actually, you know what? I'll let it.
Whatever you want. Dealer's choice.
Woo!
Dealer's choice. All
Let's
right.
get it going.
Let's go ahead.
I'm ready.
Use the clip here. Let's see. This is round 24, Giants.
Okay.
Let's see what we have here.
Yeah, there's a Viper's Pit. Looks like a
never mind. This
post-plant.
isn't Giants. Round 24.
Yeah,
We got
there's
Troll.
Paper X. There's a KJ lockdown going down, and that's the thing. It's kind of cap for EDG to put this Viper's Pit down, especially when you consider, I think contrantant is like it sounds like geometry to me. So you consider the angles at play. The contrantant there from Spoggy is not really going to script. And even still, I think Paper X win the, no, okay, oh, he's saving. This is awkward. This is real awkward.
Things aren't going to the script, huh?
Yeah, maybe he wasn't listening to the script there, Bala.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're just putting on their saving cap and running away with
Their
the
saving cap. Oh, yeah, I
Was
love
that good?
saving
I think that was pretty good. I got them all in. I don't know what contrantant actually means.
Contranatant?
I've never seen that word in my life.
It actually basically means to like go, was it over time or something like that? Like push over time, basically.
Okay.
A push against the current. That's what it was. Push against the current.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
thought it was like a, like the hypotenuse.
I thought it was like the hypotenuse.
My guy's out here. It's just like college level algebra. I don't even know what the word was.
It sounded like that, man.
All right, Vanity, you're next, okay? You're going to break down this clip of EDG, all right? It's a round win for them. You have to use the words bet, edit, and at some point you have to bark like a dog.
That's easy.
Okay.
This is right up my alley.
I mean, I don't think they realize that pro players in their scrims are just constantly barking anyways.
We just be barking anyways, bro.
Let's see this. Let's see the clip here when it pulls up. So give us your best dog bark right now.
I'm a little dog. I'm a little dog. I'm not a big dog. Zelsis is the big dog, you know?
Clip started. I already forgot the words. Edit?
Okay, we're good.
Bet, edit, and bark like a dog.
All right.
All right, what do we have here?
It's a 5v5 post plant.
Yeah, post plant, holding the bag. Go for Vanity.
I mean, I'm definitely betting on Giants to win this round, you know?
But the dog just hit.
Yeah, wait for it. Oh my God, they're about to win. And Cloud, I can't use that. Cloud edited the round to end.
There's no attempt. Crowd, can we get a dog bark from you guys in the crowd? Can you help me out?
Ah, you guys are boring.
Love it.
I like the little dogs.
A Vanity dog
I like the little dogs.
Like a small dog. Small dogs. Anyone? No one wants any. Everyone just wants a big chest.
I learned this from Effie's.
They just want big chest barking.
That's the guy who buys Northern on a cent.
That's a real man right there.
I'm just glad that they made him do that, to be honest. That was pretty good.
That actually fit really well. All right, let's take a look at our MasterCard fan poll. Earlier we asked you guys if China was going to make it into the top 8. The results are in. And
80%. Yes. 80%, I'm not looking.
73.3.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, they have 2 chances. Like, it's kind of free.
That's true.
It's
That's
2
true.
chances.
But what about both Chinese teams?
No.
No?
Nah, I'm with
Crowd?
Bala.
Both Chinese teams?
Okay.
I feel like they kind of feel a little bit.
The thing is, I think that both these teams have good chances. Like Billy and EDG. I think EDG a little bit slightly higher to me, but For both of them? Like, you're relying on Thunder to hit twice, and that doesn't happen that often.
Thunder to hit twice?
Thunder to hit twice.
Lightning?
Lightning.
Whatever,
Lightning.
bro. Thunder to clap twice. I don't know, man. Why are you talking to me?
It's an audio thing, you know? Do you think both of them can make it in? What are the chances on the BLG Energy game?
Say 40-60. I think Energy's a little favored.
Okay.
Given their record in rematches in the past.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough. So we got a 40-60 here for NRG. We got no chance.
Oh no, there's definitely a chance, but like when you put them together, have you ever done probabilities? You put them together, they just reduce like crazy.
Bro, I didn't know what contranating meant. So
that's
probabilities, I ain't doing that stuff. In any case, folks, this is it for us in the pre-show. We hope you had a great time, but it's time to close out the group stage with 2 revenge matches. It's going to be EDG versus Giants, Energy versus Billy Billy. Let's do this.
When I joined the team, I thought I'm going to change it. We're no longer losing to these teams that we should win. And all of a sudden, we lose instantly to Billy Billy game in the champs.
All that's left is on it, and the unthinkable might happen. Billy Billy besting NRG.
粉丝嘛，然后就是都在给阿吉加油，没有人在给我们加油，所以有那种就是当反派的感觉，就是赢下主角那种感觉，就很爽。
We were overcomplicating them, and all they were thinking was just like,
This is ridiculous! No, not like this!
也会不会掉以轻心，不会说赢了他们一场之后就觉得我们比他们强或者这样子，就是。
When the pressure's on, we perform the best. All of us, roll for roll, are better than them.
The most dominant map that we have seen thus far at Champions.
I promise you right now, Billy Billy will not send us out.
我知道你们会做足万全的准备来想办法复仇我们，但是我只能说，我们会在那一天再次击败你。
Listen, Billy Billy, you guys don't have a slight chance to win us. You got lucky with the first game. The second game, you won't even get one map.
And it's left to Hoodie.
We just played horrible. In those clutch situations, something just happens and suddenly we lost the round.
来到了 LA， 我觉得观众会支持我们，然后氛围也那么好，我们真的很开心很高兴。只是来了 LA 以后的状态不是很好，就是可能观赛感比较差一点吧。
EDG's greatest strength is Kangkang, and the greatest weakness also is Kangkang. He's easily punishable. We keep punishing Kangkang and not throw the game, we will win.
那就再赢死他们。然后我相信我们还能在 LA 待得更久。
All right, so EDG comes from the upper bracket match, so you'll be higher seed. Team A or Team B?
Team B.
Team B. So Giants, you'll be Team A, and we'll start with your first ban.
Ban Pearl.
They ban Pearl. Your ban?
Luto.
Lotus, and map number 1.
Split.
Side on split.
Attack.
Attack. And map number 2.
Fracture.
Fracture. Side on fracture.
Attack.
And next set of bans, starting with Giants, you have Ascent, Haven, and Bind.
Ban Haven.
Ban Haven, okay. And your ban, you have Ascent and Bind.
Ascent.
You ban Ascent, so map number 3 will be Bind. Giants side on Bind.
Defense.
Okay. Gonna run through this, make sure we're all set. First set of bans, we have Giants with Pearl, EDG with Lotus. Map number 1 is Split with EDG on attack. Map number 2 is Fracture with Giants on attack. Next set of bans are Haven and Ascent. Map number 3 is Bind with Giants on defense. Good? Good? Okay, good luck.
Giants. Edward Gaming.
EDG have become the princes that were promised, but in their way are some European giants who want to continue to prove the doubters wrong. This matchup has all the makings to be a banger, Vala.
This one is absolutely a rematch that we want to watch. It was such a close game last time. EDG pulled through, but just barely against Giants, and Giants looked poised to come through this lower bracket and make it back to playoffs with some very veteran experience.
I'm all on the EDG train today.
Yes. I mean, I like that you're on EDG, or like Team EDG until the end, but you gotta.
I think it's gonna be a good match. I think it should be a very, very good match. I think both games today, hopefully, are very good.
Yeah.
I think this one for sure is gonna be a banger.
I think one of the points I saw there during the veto, though, is that Giants banned Fracture in the first series, and EDG did not pounce on Pearl, which normally they would go for. They would pick that. But this time around, Giants left Fracture open, and EDG instantly go for it. So that's a place where we've gotten a shift. And other than that, we have the same maps from last time, Bind and Split. So super interesting in a rematch to have that sort of repeat in terms of the veto outside of Fracture.
Yeah, makes you wonder, right? Maybe they have something cooking. Maybe they knew that they were going to go for this. This is it's always those mind games, right? And the agents, like, I can't even imagine what it's like from a pro player's perspective to just be like, okay, map select, we got to try and like see what we can get out of this one, because it really does feel like a tug of war out there.
I think a lot of teams view it differently. I think there's like some teams like Navi who kind of just, they play what they want. They don't really think about it.
Yeah.
But then there's teams like Fnatic, I think, is like very calculated in their map vetoes and stuff. And I think that, I don't know if Giants is a Fracture team. I don't remember them playing it much in EMEA, so this is going to be interesting. I think it's been a map that EDG's always been pretty strong on.
Oh yeah.
So
taking down some big names back in Tokyo, like Loud, for example. That was a map that they were relying on a lot because they have a weird comp, double duelist on that.
I'm a big fan of the Smoggy Breach. I think he's a lot better when he's like enabling his teammates. Like, he's a pretty good duelist, but I think like when he's setting up like his teammates, I think he excels.
I think he gets extra praise though because he is a duelist.
Prime Gaming agent select here for Split. It's going to be our first map that we see, and well, we end up getting, okay, we got the Cypher, and then of course on the other side here, double duelist for EDG, so it's
exactly what you expect.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Giants kind of co-opted the Fnatic comp. EDG is just running still with the double duelist of old times, and this map was really close last time. It took some heroics from both sides to keep that map alive.
What do you think of this composition here, Vanity? Which one would you favor in this situation if you're on that stage?
I think the Giants comp, if you are like capable of playing it correctly and like using the comp right, it should stomp the double duelist comp because it has 3 agents that like completely destroy the double dive. But I think that the issue that Giants had in the last is they were not using the like breach util or omen util very well to stop the double dive. So I think that's the big thing. They had a really solid attack game plan, but their defense like fumbled. And even against this comp, like you should be able to stop this on defense with this comp. It's like what it's designed for.
Yeah, well, we'll see how this all plays out because this is it, folks. So Shrine, let's make some noise as we get ready for this game. Giants and EDG facing off, and your casters, Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Wow, either way, history is going to be made here today. A Chinese team or a Spanish org going all the way to playoffs at Champions, and already we're off to a spicy start with that veto.
Yeah, I can't believe we're seeing Fracture. This is the first time that Giants will ever have let this map through. It's been their permaban throughout all of EMEA, all of lock-in. Like, they do not want to play that map, so the fact that they've let it through, clearly they have something prepared. And while EDG, they're saying bet. There you go, back all the way to how they were analyzing before. They are happy to try and take them on that map choice. Last time out, we saw Split picked by Giants. They've gone for it again. Probably should have won it a little bit more cleanly last time, but both teams had incredible attack sides, and that's why EDG, they've opted to start there.
They want to start on that attack side here on Split, and the barriers are already up in the pistol, but no movement, no contact. That's why you're seeing that stun being held by Rhyme, looking for some players to make their way on through. And see space in the back of that util typically. Maybe he's going to fire it out. You know, one of the things about EDG, beating a team the second time, it's always going to be tough. But for this squad, a new map pool, it makes it almost a new series. Who knows what we're going to get on Fracture. Split should be more of a comfort zone for Giants, you'd imagine.
Yeah, Vitinho has to be the highlight for them as well. 8-1 in opening duels, 34 kills. He had an unbelievable game. And look at the combination off the start, forcing Kankan into the open, or Smoggy, sorry. And well, actually, Kankan back into the corner as well. It is not the start that EDG were looking for, and Kankan now going to be attempting to try and make that play through. They are watching for this. There's, in fact, 3 players holding on to that spawn, and in the meantime, the spike is already wrapping back in towards that B site, which for now is fairly open.
30 seconds the initial contact might not have worked out for this attacking squad, but they have managed to carve out some map control in return, and that smoke blocks Hoodie out completely. The B side is theirs. They've overrun it at very little cost, and it's Can lurking on A that'll try to cut off these rotates, make it costly for this squad, or even get up behind later. He's let the first 2 pass. He hears the third. The peek is in, and he's caught Nukia. Blast back to come up close. He's putting the pressure on. And it's a teammate of nobody on the other side who's fighting up in heaven. This is a thorn in the side of Giants. And this retake already fragmented with Can behind. They have to hurry up, ignoring their back instead, focusing front. And there's next to nothing left to stand for Giants. EDG, they seem to stumble at the start, but they recovered nicely.
Yeah, I don't know how he always seems to be a nuisance. Kankan just being in those backlines, basically doing damage off the back of the Classic, and then also just putting that doubt in the minds while the rest of his teammates are able to do so much. Also good to see nobody going off to a good start. His last series, polar opposites to the first time we saw him play versus Giants. And while EDG, a pistol, as you said, it looked a little bit rough from the beginning, but a little bit of magic from Chichu and Kankan, and they have the lead.
Well handled in the first round. Now the easy part, at least it should be. Weaker weapons. The first, the Sheriff around the corner, and the pace has caught them off guard. That's a big blow to the side of EDG. A weapon down in mid, but that can be recovered. Hao Dong only playing a pistol, for example. So it's not going to be the end of the world. They can't really, or they don't really want to lose anybody else. Then things do start to get scary.
The gamble, though. Giants fully rotating away. There is going to be the cam, which, when popped, should give a fair amount of information back. A little bit unlucky, and there you go. That's going to be that info. Every single member of Giants hightailing their way back over to that B site, but they have lost full control at this stage.
Yeah, and the key thing being it was the element of surprise getting them that opening duel. Now they've very much lost that, and it's EDG that get to occupy some sneaky spaces. You can see Smoggy is actually covering for nobody. He's taking initial contact. He was. Then tucked in and allowed nobody to clean that one up. They're here together either way. The point being the trade isn't really possible. Certainly not easy. Ryan, he's got utility out. Okay, sure, he's managed to find his gun, but look at his health. Look at the weapon he's working with. 19 health left on nobody, but it's not enough. And okay, they find the 1 kill. How much more can they do? What damage will the side of Giants walk out of this round with? And it okay, 3 kills, 19 HP on nobody. That could have went so much worse.
No, that really isn't bad at all. Like being able to take out, I think, at least 1 gun from that scenario, and now come in with a purchase of their own. Giants are going to have the rifles across the board, and ults aren't particularly close. Now, they could try and almost run around the map, get Chichu those orbs, and potentially have a post-plant Viper's Pit, but when you look at what they're investing into this one, EDG are going to play things relatively safe. Not overbuy, just go with those pistols and see what Kankan and nobody can do with the rifles that they have.
Yeah, big test for the Giants' defensive side. The mid-aggression worked out for them when they had just pistols, and it looks like they're toying with the same kind of idea. But look at the aggression from EDG. Just W-keying it into the B site. Now, there's a lot of players waiting here. The nade fragmented them, so they weren't able to get out on time. And a ton of control still for the side of Giants. Cam watching A, so no one's able to sneak up for free. Chichu realizing that he's been spotted. But even still, they're deciding to rotate back.
Yeah, the problem with this is, obviously the idea is Smoggy goes in and it reveals some of the other players for Khan and nobody to try and do some damage. But with it being segmented, you've now lost that. Your sort of one almost like player as a fake flash isn't really going to work out. So any other damage from here is going to be a lot more difficult, especially walking into these Cypher setups. We saw it the other day on Pearl as well from Nuke. He is a nuisance. Already just looking to delay.
It's all going to be about this spam with the Tiger already taking contact. It's going to go through after the stun. Little bit of damage onto Hao Dong. He's in position. Snakebite tagging him up, making him vulnerable. Teammates on the way, though. The cover should be here. Still, though, EDG are doing the damage. Giants now down and out of this round. It's just Hoodie in a 1v4. In a matter of seconds, this went from a round they should be closing out and wondering how many players will be left alive to absolutely everybody on the defense tying. That is as clean as EDG could ever have dreamed.
Oh, I think it's beyond dreams. I don't know how they managed to make that one work. A cool combination of the Snakebite and Gravity World just made things super awkward for Nuke. He was trying to pull away from that position, and because of that, nobody, mentioned it. His performance the other day, you're looking at a player that pretty much looked out of the game. Versus Paperex, he was 18 and 37 across the series. He's already 5-1 right now. Flying high, EDG 3-0 on that attack side. As said, we saw 9-3 halves from either team, but recreating that, definitely going to be easier said than done. And for Giants, they desperately are looking to try and get back onto the board. This round though, Mitch, it's just pistols.
They had one sheriff last time and still did damage. I think that's why we're seeing this level of respect from EDG. A split on mid as they take the control. One player on either side holding the extremities. And for this squad of EDG, just a massively beneficial start. This information for Giants, it's not too much. Tigers destroyed, just seeing one. They're not sure. They're not going to stack up on the back of that. Really, that's what they need, the strength in numbers in a round like this.
Oh, even going to use the Seekers. Not overly surprising. They haven't taken any ground yet. 40 seconds left on the clock as they expend those out into mid, maybe trying to sell the idea. And they're back on the other side. It does leave a solo player, though. Nuke has all of his utility to play with, but he has no friends alongside him. Isolated behind the back of the site. Rotation has begun to come in, and he's managed to land that first shot. Anything more would have to be a miracle. Vitinho's heard the footsteps. Rhyme's still within the site. Somehow, again, these rounds are looking competitive, and both players now stuck within the site.
Vitinho's managed to arm himself up, now rocking in with a Vandal. They're not holding the angle together, though. It'll have to be the trade on Rhyme. He's fallen to start it off, and Chichu closes that one out. It got a little closer than they would have liked, but a 4-0 lead speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's been the case throughout. A few close rounds, mostly with the pistols, but when it comes down to these buy rounds, well, I say that they actually won themselves a MasterCard Thrifty to get themselves the second round. But here we go. Buy-in, Seekers online for Cloud, Showstopper not far away. This is where all of the ults, in fact, for both sides, are really starting to build up. Could make a huge difference in the round, and once more, early contact. Potentially going to be made over on this A side, but you can already see that Kankan is sort of waiting with that operator outside of B, clearly expecting some sort of aggression to come through here.
Yeah, I think they've played with the map early on in the past couple of rounds. And Giants haven't been biting on that, haven't been getting aggressive. We saw the smoke from Hoodie inside B main, that was about all. And not even really swinging on the back of it. And just look at how passive they are on B this time around as well. Looks like good decision-making from the defensive side. Again, the pressure is going to be on Nuke on the back of that A site. His trap hasn't been destroyed, at least. He's still got both online, ready to catch some players on the way through. They're moving back to B.
Oh, you can't give him that chance. You just can't. Kangan, don't miss those. Already, that's Rhyme dropped. He was meant to delay. Look at the pace of how they're playing this at the moment. It's almost disrespectful, the Showstopper, just to make sure that anybody hiding within the site it's going to be lost. He's not stopping. He's W-keyed all the way up into heaven, still has that operator. And now for Giants, Mitch, do you even go for this?
Fitinho had some spacing, dodging the showstopper just about, but, you know, they start to add up the numbers in their head, realize what they have to work with in the next round and what they're up against here, especially knowing that Can has that operator and is likely just posted on the site now, waiting for someone to walk into an angle. It's not worth it. This is another round the Giants have to concede, and EDG will be walking away with a 5-0 start on Split, the map pick of Giants, with the next map up being one that this roster has never played before. They've been insta-banning in every single series, bar the Crew one, in which Crew banned it first. They got ahead of them. This series is certainly starting to get scary. And there it is. You know, while we have these replays, that jump down was absolutely
it's just
insane
filthy
from Smoggy, but they've called a timeout on the side of Giants, and I can't blame them. This one's getting out of hand.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you almost have to respect the fact that Can is so sort of like confident in his ability just to catch that player jump peek, and that was basically the plan. Stayed passive at the beginning of the round just to try and, in case they got aggressive, not wanting to just take huge risk with the operator. But what Smoggy did, that was just disrespectful. That was just him jumping down while the rest of the team go executing. I think the fact of the matter is, if he had died there, he wouldn't have cared. It was more so just to cause that distraction of while his teammates are executing. And at the moment, EDG have looked fearsome. Similarly to what we saw on their attack side last time out, it was very dominant, but you almost have to wonder, like, EDG had that mental resilience last time from 9-3 down to drag things back, win unbelievable clutches and close out, or at least bring that game to OT. Giants, I don't know if they have that. I'm waiting to see if they do, because right now, they're getting boomed. And I need to see, well, firstly, Pipson taking that pause and try and get the players back in the right headspace. But also, I need to see some of these stars come online, because right now, there hasn't really been a top performer on that side yet.
Well, you can hear Lembo trying to get the crowd behind Giants.
Good luck, Lembo. Good luck.
This is going to be one of those situations for Giants. It's time to show up. They've got the rifles in hand. They're coming close to a lot of ultimates. You know, one of the big problems that last round, even Smoggy's drop down in events, it's the player that it takes out as well. You lose Rhyme, and all of a sudden your retakes don't look nearly as good without that breach util. In this round, he's one away from having a Rolling Thunder. That could certainly help this Giants squad out, or even Fitinho finding one pick and having a big old rocket launcher in the form of the showstopper to play with.
I'm so prepared for the util as well. Just destroying Nuke's utility with those blast packs. But it's all just a ruse. The thing is, though, for now at least, Giants have gambled heavily. 4 players still over onto this A site. Huge reliance onto Nuke. He's going to be basically in a 1 versus 3 fight here. He gets one, and that's it. Not going to be able to get anything more. The rest of the team's so far away. EDG are going to have a free afterplant here, and, well, if Rhyme can get a kill, maybe there's a chance to have that Rolling Thunder, but Chichu instead have caught them on that rotation. It's the same scenario they were just in moments ago. 3 players trying to fight back in.
This time they might decide to go for it. Smokes and your breach online, but it's Can closing this round, you'd imagine. The second Fitinho goes down, at least gets his showstopper online, but it's the next round they're thinking about using it. Time to hightail it. The EDG finding yet another round. It's seeming to be an uphill battle for the side of Giants. What was that word Paula had to say earlier? It's certainly a upstream swim right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that, yeah. I think I prefer the bark, I'll be honest. 6-0. After what was such a ridiculously close matchup last time out. It was streak rounds, but last time out, Giants, as said, they were the ones in the lead. They were the ones, and it is going to be another timeout. That is both used within the space of a couple of rounds. Almost the panic button being hit right now from the side of Giants. Bear in mind, the next map in this series, they have never played as a team. Individually, sure. Like on the old Giants roster, Fitinho played it, yeah.
With Giants.
Yeah. But Other than that,
of one.
It is not a map that they've gone to. And sure, I don't doubt that they've let that through because they have something prepared, but that is a terrifying prospect. You're in your own map choice. You're 6-0 down. Your opponent's economy is booming. Kankan is having a wonderful time. He's just been finding openers left, right, and center. And the thing is, there hasn't really been any sort of response. They haven't even been able to catch out the lurker of Chichu in most of these rounds. So something desperately needs to change. Showstopper, Rolling Thunder close to being online, but of course, those ults are also being cycled on the other side with a Viper's Pit and a Blade Storm being two to really highlight. Something needs to come up, and it needs to happen soon for Giants, because, hey, their attack side is great, but if you don't get any defense around, it doesn't matter.
That's it. They need some sort of foundation to bounce off of, and you know, this side, when you move to map 2, Fracture, they might have come into this series seeing that as a trap that they'd laid for EDG, trying to cage the beast, but they better hope that the bars are strong enough, because what we're seeing here, well, it seems to be a bit too brittle. The side of Giants on their defense, no rounds and no timeouts left. Let's see what their solution was. And it looks like a straight up blitz into B main. A lot of players here, so they're gonna have to try to seize space on the back of it. A flash deep, a Tiger in, and they've essentially seen that there's nobody here. No pun intended. Nobody wasn't spotted as he was around the corner. And the rest of the squad waits patiently over towards A. You know, if there was a lot of aggression and utility in B main, maybe they push A, maybe they get aggressive.
The funny thing is, it's almost a complete reverse versus Crew, where I feel like whenever Crew pushed into Nuke's setup, they died. Yeah. EDG have pushed into his setup almost every single time, and they have made it look very easy. And they look to do the same again. Smoggy taking the lead. A fake being sold by nobody as well. It keeps a couple of players still deep within this B site. It definitely is a much better stack up of players, though, from Giants for the first time in a while.
Yeah, and it's also the utility that they have. Rolling Thunder, Showstopper still to play with. Nade is through. Hoodie's gone down. Picked off on the other side, causing another problem. Giants have to be worried about their back while they want to fight forward. And now a Viper's Pit comes online. A safe haven to play from for EDG. An ultimate that's incredibly difficult to fight back through. Rolling Thunder and Showstopper committed. They're searching for them! And Fatino's found them all! That's ridiculous! Giants now only have nobody to deal with. He's got heaven, but look at that util he finds. He runs right into. Giants are finally on the board.
Wow. We talk about the Showstopper being one of the most brutal ultimates in the game. Sometimes you can shoot it at someone's feet and they somehow survive. A Rolling Thunder comboed into the Showstopper through a Cosmic Divide. He doesn't even see the other two players. He just shoots it at the one he spots and they all go down. Kankan didn't even look like he was remotely close enough to die to that. But hey, that's what it takes. A triple kill with a Showstopper for Giants to get onto the board. But they are on the board.
All right, let's see them do that again in this round.
How many more kills do you need? 8 more kills. 8 more kills and he can do that again.
But that was literally a Hail Mary play. The prayers were answered. The fact that EDG have a Viper's Pit on site, they have nobody flanking, man advantage. You could just keep listing the advantages they had up their sleeve, and then that one play, that combo, to absolutely ruin them. Crowd control them out of the round. Fatino, he's turned away at the wrong moment. Disaster for this man as he goes down. And now the space is wide open for EDG's taking.
Yeah, one of the highlights of this matchup last time was Fatino 8-1 in opening duels. I think Kankan has been bullying him so far. Hasn't had that same sort of luck.
They've all rotated.
Yeah, they've gambled. Well, the thing is, they've heard the From the Shadows. Maybe had that expectation. Nobody has been so good at getting the timing right. The flash is sublime. Can't see a thing. No chance even for a trade. He's going to throw out the Tiger for good measure, but the fact is, again, hey, guess what? 3v5.
Another kill to go their way. They try to trade the operator of Kankan, but he cannot go down. EDG finding 7, and the rounds just keep tallying up in their favor. You can look at that one for Giants as a flash in the pan, because that's all it is for the time being.
Oh dear, 7-1. Again, they're still going to have the finances to actually buy back into this one. Blade Storm on the other side, but all ults have now been expended for Giants. They threw everything into getting that first round. They've gone for from the shadows in the last to try and gamble in on that rotation. They are being slaughtered thus far. Well, this man is a huge part of it, this time patiently waiting to see if there's any aggression, but for now at least, it is just going to be that stack up into the B site. As said, they have had a huge reliance on Nukia's Cypher setup, but it definitely hasn't gone to plan thus far. He is going to be able to spot if anybody is deep within A main, though. However, once again, it's going to be this mid-presence, and Vitinho looking like the first point of contact.
Yeah, they've stuck around. You know, that Tiger went in deep on B main. Once EDG heard it, they thought maybe B would be lighter, that the rotations had come through. That's not the case. Nade, that's certainly tickled up a few players. They'll be healed, though. Right back up to 100, just a bit of shields that are lost. And already you can see Giants are expecting to rotate back after what they've shown, but no. EDG are very much looking to commit here, as Hoodie just found out the hard way, caught after his paranoia. But Giants are able to drop the spike and slow the EDG push. Can. A shining light for this squad, very nearly finds another. He's down to the rifle. 2 versus 3. And 2 players on site. Can's found another. That's the showstopper. Online, fired out and found. Oh, no! He'll die to the fall damage, leaving them with a chance. Nukia has to find Chichu. The plant coming in. He's going to have the info. It all comes down to this fight, and Chichu wins. EDG round after round. 8 now on the board, and the lead is looking indomitable.
It looked like that was another grand opportunity, but Gongon just, the only thing that takes him out is the ground. That's what it is. It's the world defeating
Takes a force
Gongon.
of nature to deal with this man.
And then Chichu's there to close things out, 8-1. We've been mentioning the fact that even a few rounds on this defensive side could be enough for Giants, but now their pockets have run dry as well. You've got yourselves a couple of rifles, a few pistols, Seekers. On the other side of things, well, Ballers. They've got everything they could ever desire and some in their pockets. It does seem like as well, Giants, their attempt is to almost adapt to what happened in the last round. Okay, they pressured middle, let's pressure middle, and there always seems to be another side to the coin. The fight though, the flash is fantastic, but the shots aren't connected. They get nothing.
And then somehow it's EDG who come out on top. Nobody from far away picking up that double. Okay, they do end up losing Can, a big player for their squad. But considering what they're up against and the space retrieved on the other side, they might not be too worried. That is Chichu. You might be confused. You might be thinking, why does that look like it's an attacker? He's quite clearly in a defender position. He's found his reward for his trouble with Hoodie falling. And Haodong's got his lurk up through mid. It's worth looking like late into the round here, you have 2 active flanks in play for EDG. And the amount of control that they're able to take out of Giants' hands is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about this. Like, you're looking at a composition that has the Sky looking for information, and then a Cypher, which basically just has cams and trips everywhere. And somehow every single round, EDG are the ones catching Giants off guard. Yep. They have looked lost throughout the entirety of this map so far. Needing these last 2 rounds as almost a bare minimum, as a lifeline. And especially after we saw them in some of the videos earlier saying that they think EDG are overrated. This is not the look that they wanted to come out with.
I think it's hard to argue this is the optimal start for the EMEA number 4, but still potential for a recovery. Can. Oh, look, he's out of here. Immediate reactions, and if he is a second slower, a fraction of a second slower, in fact, he would have lost his life there. That immediately down and out of that B-mate. He's going to go back through. He's going to fight through the smoke. This guy's crazy. I mean, he's not going to get a reward. They just about left, but if that was a second earlier, I think Cloud loses his life.
Yeah, it's almost a ruse, though, as again, he's on one side of the map, and they're on the other. Taking that control. Rhyme already with him, but he's somewhat alone. The flash is good, but it also catches Nukia. And now Rhyme's the only one fighting. They are watching for this. Cloud has managed one. Starting to look a little bit better, but Kankan's still standing, still fighting. The nade into the back of sight is going to force Rhyme into more awkward position. He's just going to tank it. He's going to try and hold on in that back corner, now hiding within the smoke. His teammate placed just moments ago. Hoodie from above, but it's nobody. And Kankan within that sight, just waiting for the moment that flash comes back online. He's managed to sneak forward. Hoodie's found one. But look who they're up against once again. He's read things perfectly, but the shot is missed, and he goes right back into Rhyme. Finally, Giants managed to get their second round on the board, but boy, was it close.
They can push up to 3, the bare minimum, maybe. There's still hope for Giants on their map pick. After all, EDG did choose to start on the attack side, but with 2 rounds on the board, this is a pretty clear-cut outcome in my mind right now. Big mistakes, big fumbles needed on the side of EDG. Yeah, and that just hasn't been the case so far. Can, round after round, this guy is successful. I think he probably had one of his quieter ones in the last.
Well, 9-2. Still the Giants' chance go out. We'll see if they can pull off that third round. As said, last time it was 9-3, 9-3, but I think you'd have to be pretty optimistic to expect a repeat after the manner in which these rounds have gone. Good start, though. Vitinho finally taking down his Rays counterpart.
Go get him.
Already getting them that man advantage. That has been a rarity in the early rounds.
Yeah, it very much has, because Kankan's won those fights every single time. EDG now have to go to a second game plan, and oh no, they were going to move towards this position. It was the judge in play for Cloud, but he's given it up. He's fallen off to put some util into B main and check that it's clear, but there you go. Players spotted up top. Now they realize what they've given up, and they've got to fight from the low ground. The stun in, that has delayed them, but with the spike outside of A, this is almost what EDG want. Confirmation that those rotations are coming through. What in the world is that? A rolling thunder put into heaven. They hadn't spotted anyone there. They gambled on it, and instead they've lost Nukia's life. The Giants seem lost.
You know where he is? Oh. Hoodie playing a risky game. He was spotted by the Tiger on the way in. Has managed to find that opener though. Spike dropped to the deck. He has no support once again, just stuck in this corner. And now the showstopper put through. Nobody to be found, just going to be pushing straight through. It's actually the trade. Chichu though left. 15 HP, has the spike, has to stick it just to get it through onto the round, and Cloud going to make sure that he will not. It is that identical scoreline, 9-3 at the half, but this time, Giants are the one that have to fight back.
Oh, it's certainly going to be an uphill battle for this squad. 3 rounds on the board, it's not the easiest to make happen, and for the side of EDG, they've got to be feeling incredible right now. A squad that underestimated them sitting across the stage. They talked their smack, and now they pay the price. Let's hear from Smoggy, who we actually spoke to a little bit earlier about this.
他后面我们拿到11分的时候，他们就是一直在打我们的 B 点嘛。然后我们5个人就一起在想办法怎么接那个 B 点，或者是怎么守那个 B 点，就各种方法都想过了，但是还是有点接不住。我们心态其实还是挺平稳的，因为确实我们之前打这张地图就总是打加时嘛，就是其实也打惯了，然后我们心态也挺平静的吧，就是我们就是一直在想怎么去防住他们，我们只能专注于比赛。如果我们去想了其他事情的话，感觉就会打不好。其实我状态算比昨天好一些了吧，但是还是他们给了机会，我还是自己没有抓住，我觉得一般吧。
He's going to prod, but he's going to get pushed. I mean, Forsaken's round the corner with a flash from something. Both of them being used. No way!
What is that from Odom? 3 straight down. How have they all lined up?
就是我觉得在来到了 LA， 我觉得有这么多观众会支持我们，然后氛围也那么好，我们真的很开心很高兴，然后也有那么多人支持我们。只是来了 LA 以后的状态不是很好，就是可能观赛感比较差一点吧。我们打败者组，不管是我们是第一天打的那个小组赛第1把，或者是第2把，或者是第3把， 我们其实心态都是一样的，因为我们都是抱着来赢比赛的心态，就算是最后一把，我们也不会有什么压力啊，或者是就是不敢去操作，我们该操作该去打，照样也会去打。
Well, it's time for the battle to begin for half number 2 of Split. Giants map pick, the next up, the one that they don't play. It's certainly looking a little shaky with 3 rounds on the board, but now Giants will mount their attack side. This is the side that EDG wanted to start on.
Yeah.
Maybe setting their own pace will give them some benefit. I mean, if you think about what EDG were doing to them last half, a lot of it was them getting behind them. That shouldn't be as easy now.
Yeah. As we mentioned, Giants have done this before, but last time it was at the beginning of the map, and now they desperately need themselves the pistol. An instant stun straight through, and it's going to be the trades back. Cloud's done incredible work, but Chichu matches him pound for pound. Straight through, it's an awkward fight, and actually Smoggy's there to save the day. Hoodie left in the corner. I don't know if that comeback will ever be happening, because EDG are hightailing their way straight to a one-map advantage.
Unbelievable. Double digits found within the first 13 rounds played. And the side of EDG showing no signs of stopping or slowing down. I wonder if we'll even see Giants come through with a force buy, try to roll the dice right here and now. It's not easy on the attack, though. They might just have to tank this to 11-3 and fight from there. No good options, realistically. And as we come back into the game, we can see, yeah, it's a few sheriffs, but for the most part, they're competing for the 11-3 scoreline.
Well, T1 learnt at Masters Tokyo that you don't want to play EDG a second time. First time, a close series, a battle. T1 ended up winning. The second time, they got blasted, and that's exactly what's happening here. Rhyme will at least manage to get one, but Karkan is styling. His 3rd kill of the round, 11-3 in the lead. And if it doesn't start now for Giants, it doesn't start at all.
Yeah, this will be the beginning of the end if it's not the beginning of the comeback. Although I'd say the beginning of the end might have been a while ago.
Yeah. This is the end of the end.
Exactly, the conclusion. And now, no matter what you think about that next map up, whether it was a trap placed by Giants a year of...
Trap. If it's not a trap, this might be the most dominant series of the tournament.
Even if it is a trap, even if this was their whole plan, realistically, how much can you believe? This is the one they wanted to play. This is the one they've been playing in. Well, it hasn't started out even in the second half the way they wanted. Time for a final stand on the side of Giants. Hao Dong already on the site. Spectre in hand, close range fight, but Vitinho wins it. Giants with a much needed opening and a plan secured.
Yeah, this is a round that should be utterly impossible to lose. I know that the majority of players are in towards heaven. They're the ones with the rifles for Nuke. Well, just like the first half, he's getting caught off. That gives nobody a gun, and that's not what you want to be doing on this map. The judge jumping in. They are tagged up as well. They're very tagged up. There's a very real chance of this round falling apart. Oh! They can do no wrong with Karkan at the helm.
That's got to be it for the side of Giants. Mentally boomed at this point. 12-3 down, 9 in a row needed, and plays like that being pulled out.
Go next. Go next.
Go next is the only solution.
They were in a 5v4 after plant. They had all the rifles. Their opponents were coming in with a judge, a stinger, like
everyone was
low
low
just been
as well.
Obliterated.
Everybody on the side of EDG, bar Can was low. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and you can see it. The body language says it all on the side of Giants. They're already thinking about Fracture, and to be honest, I don't imagine they're thinking about that with a smile on their face.
Yeah, I hope they've got one hell of a pep talk coming, because this is it's been fun for the crowd, the EDG fans, but I'm sure for Giants this has been one of the worst experiences of their lives so far. 12-3. You just at any second you just feel like it could just pop ahead. They have been making their way through, again going for this A site dive. They've sectioned off nobody. And actually, Conker, he's just going to pop the showstopper. He's going to track him through. I thought for a second he was going to land and hit that shot, but Whzy has thankfully put him down.
Yeah, it was damn close as well. Run that back 10 more times. With it being him, I believe he'll hit it.
I think run it back
10 out of 10. Oh, here's the drop. Shot good to start with, but nobody's only able for one. Nukia can't catch them off guard, though. He's lost his life. They've lost the sight of B. Giants are taking it all the way around the world and looking to plant this, leaving Rhyme to cut off those rotations.
They're not rotating that way.
That's mad, actually. They're going through the attacker spawn.
All 3 players are going to be going through the spawn. You just don't see teams doing this. The Seekers, though invested, will give that away. So they should know, with all of them going in the other direction, they could have still been rotating through mid, but just look at the setup. Stun ready, Cloud on the corner. This should at least be one thing. Then the stun in response, Cloud taking over, giving them that lifeline. It's left on to Chichu, and he won't be able to do it. Cloud gets his 4th kill of the round and a 4th round for Giants as well.
Another lease at life. Only 8 in a row needed. That's not too much on the attack side, is it?
Yeah, especially with just some of the players going missing. Nukia on 2 kills right now. He's normally someone that is reliable for this squad. Has been throughout the majority of the season, but what a time to go missing.
The reality is, you know, even thinking about how dominant of a first half the side of EDG had, they did not manage 8 in a row. There was still that interruption of a round, and you have to think that'll come through eventually. But this defensive side, between ultis and opportunities, between Concon just destroying people. Yeah, he's going to have a multi-kill to close the game within the next 8. I'd put money on it.
He apologized for his smack talk the other day, but I hope he's got a little bit more in him after this one. I'll be honest with you. I want to hear some fighting words, because right now, well, Giants are definitely going to be regretting calling their opponents overrated, because I don't know what that says about everybody else. It is going to be that after plant again, but look at the response. Everybody from EDG is here.
Yeah, they're ready. Their utilities prime. Tiger already through. Oh, just a dry peek at a Concon. He's already down. Smoggy follows through, much of the same.
Nice.
And it's Cloud in back-to-back rounds, breathing life into this Giants squad. Great damage done. He'll fall. Nobody starts to have an answer. But look at the damage on Hao Dong from earlier on. He should be easily dropped on the way through, with Chichu having to do it all, and indeed a blind shot in the smoke. Chichu, 2 opponents, no reload though. Goes out with a classic in hand. A brave move, but they have plenty more chances to try and close this one out. That's 12-5, 7 more for the side of Giants.
Yeah, a couple of big rounds back-to-back from Cloud. Even though this has been a very dominant game so far individually, he's up there, 17 and 13. Been having a decent game, but he's going to have to, again, probably break a 30 bomb for them to even be remotely close, unless we can start to see some of the other Giants players come alive in this match. For now, though, I'm looking at a split Odin. Now, that is a rarity.
There. How you feeling, Vanity? Guy's got a smile on his face. You're damn right you should. This is a very interesting play from Nobody, especially initiating on the A site. He's on his way around to B. Everybody is. And that's where the push is coming in. Giants again with that control. Rolling Thunder pushes. Well, doesn't fully push Smoggy out the site. He's going to have to shimmy his way around. And actually, Nobody goes down. Smoggy has retrieved it and is now looking to utilize it. Swapped over to a Bulldog Trader. And he'll get a kill for his trouble with Chichu. And himself still standing strong. No spike planted. Giants could even take this in the other direction. Rotation time would take quite a while. Maybe they just pump the brakes and wait.
Yeah, they've got a minute on the clock. And the fact is, if they wait long enough, they can pick up the orb, Seekers for Cloud. It would likely give things away. Smoggy is going to go swinging into a firing squad. Somehow comes out of that the better. They were patiently waiting.
It's buying time. They're healing. They're focused forward on this madman who's making noise, but up behind them, here he comes. It's Chichu, cutting down the numbers of Giants further, and that advantage now sits neck and neck with Cloud on 10 HP. We could be just moments away from the first map falling into EDG's pocket. Chichu's caught on the box, but they're not chasing him, thankfully. That could have been a bit awkward. Instead, he's actually got a quicker rotation than he would have. up behind them in the vents. Rhyme's heard it. Rhyme is the only guy that's even close to full HP. 99, no shields, and they're coming together looking to trade. Wall up will block him out initially, but he's not really able to help out. That's why Cloud just abandons the site, and they'll run this crossfire late into the round. Rhyme does have to check his back, though, and that timing, they might have even seen him. They might have an idea where he is. He'll get the first, but not the second, and now 10 HP. One knife from Smoggy will close it, but Cloud saves them yet again.
This man has been flying. Genuinely, game would have been over a few rounds ago if it wasn't for Cloud. The fact is, it's even got to the point where EDG are going to take a pause. 3 rounds in a row, yeah, they need to do quite a bit more than that. Double it, in fact. They need 6 in a row to even level things up once again. But I like the fact that EDG, they're going to take that moment. They're going to go, okay, well, we know what happened last time. We know that this was an incredibly attack-sided map when both these teams played it. Obviously, you'd have that expectation that somebody on that defender side would be able to get it over the line, but they don't want to let it get that far. They don't want to allow their opponents even any sort of space or wiggle room to get back into this map.
Yeah, I think there's absolutely no shame in taking a pause like this. You got 6 rounds in a row for your opponents. Better make sure that you come in with the best game plan possible for all 6 of those. Plenty of opportunities to close it out, but we've seen teams slip up in those positions before. EDG want to get ahead of that curve, and you want to respect them for it. Maybe discussing how many Odins they want in the next round.
I'm hoping 0.
Oh, what was that, Vandy? 3, he said, across the stage. So, well, I'm not sure. But yeah, Giants have something decent to work with as well. Showstopper, 2 low-impact ults as well, backing it up. Hoodie and Nuke, you probably won't be changing the game with those. But we've already seen the impact that a well-placed Showstopper from Fatinho can have.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, no odds for the other side. You'd have to put this round in the favor of Giants, which, again, we haven't said that much throughout this map so far. Again, we're going to see this early stack up, and I would almost expect a potential rotation. Nobody, yeah, he's already pushing up deep, even after getting the information off his guiding light, the flash. But it is very patient at the moment from Giants. They're expecting some sort of play, especially after a pause. You kind of look towards your opponent to see what they're going to be doing in this round. The fact is, though, other than the slight bait play over on the B site, it's somewhat the same.
They've been, as you said, incredibly patient on this defensive side, starting out this round. Now,
oh, wow.
Maybe they'll get the reward for it if they can dodge. No, that flash has caught one. Fatinho knows where he is. Chichu down, nobody still to be dealt with. They know the flash went off earlier, that it should be around here somewhere. They weren't ready for Concon to go through, and now nobody strikes, but it's a little bit of a whiff. It's not quite lining up, and it looks like the side of EDG might have to do it in the next, because they're not really in a position here.
He's still going for it. He believes in himself, and I can see why. Already managing to clear out Cloud. Smoggy up top is going to put it into a 1v2. And this is the man you'd want in that scenario, but both players up above. A flash ready. Dodges it! What? Truly unbelievable!
With 11 HP left as well. 13-6 EDG.
It was a Rebel clutch, by the way, just in case you were wondering. That was a Rebel clutch. I don't know if you saw it.
Was it? Was it a 1vx?
It was a Rebel clutch. I've said it 3 times. There you go, sponsors, if you needed it. But that... oh, my God. There is a reason why we talk about this man in such high regard. Why he is not only the present and future of Valorant. You just don't get players like this. You just don't. Once in a lifetime clutch, and he seems to do it every single game, blinded or dodging it, and every single time you'll watch that today. Incredible stuff. EDG, after an overtime loss on this map last time out, have just butchered Giants, obliterated them, and well, we're done for map number 1. We're going to be going off to a break.